to get into this. Taylor Swift dropped her third album of the year, but this album's different. The album is a remake of her first album called Fearless, and she recut them all from scratch because of the situation with her masters. So basically, people are buying her masters out from underneath her. She doesn't own any of her music, and she went back and said, you know what? Fuck you guys. I'm just literally going to remake all my own music. Now, Kenny, from the legality standpoint, how is she making music off that if they own the songs?
They don't own the songs. They own the recordings.
Oh.
She owns the songwriting. If she wrote the song, she owns the songwriting. So all that those labels are owning, or whoever the fuck owns those, is the master recording. So anytime that master recording is used for something, sales or placement or sync, that's where that money comes from. If she goes and re-records it, then she owns the master and the writing.
So why doesn't this happen more often? Because I feel like, I mean, Taylor Swift, and that's why we're hearing about it. But I feel like this kind of legal situation could happen pretty frequently behind the scenes.
It absolutely could, and I'm sure there's a good reason why it hasn't, because it's not anything new. It's, you know, people have, this is the way the industry's always been run. Like, why hasn't Dave Grohl? Well, probably because he's funding his own records. So the way, I have to break this down. A label, say they give a band $100,000 to record. Say that band's Foo Fighters, right? And they needed that $100,000. Okay, the label owns that master. If after they're recouped and their deal allows them to, if Foo Fighters then pays for all the new recordings from there on out, then they own them fucking anyway, don't need to re-record them. You know, but I know of friends who are in bands who are in really bad deals, and like the label fucked it all up for whatever reason, and they're re-recording it so that they can do what they want with those recordings.
Let me tell you something. I'm not even a big Taylor Swift fan, but I guarantee you there are people sitting in label boardrooms right now shitting their pants, losing it.
They talked about this like a year ago when Scooter Braun bought her.
Yep.
And the funny thing is that the internet went ape shit. Like,
ballistic.
He's some horrible fucking person. All this shit. And I like to have fun on the internet. I was just trying to like, this is normal. This is how it works. This is like Michael Jackson owned the Beatles records. Like, this is how it works. They own the recording. If she was like, fucking Scooter Braun this and Scooter Braun that, and you're like, well, if you want to re-record them. And then a year later she did.
A big thing for me too was when that all broke, my thought process initially was like, this happens all the time. I don't know why you're making such a big deal about this. This is like, first off, you got money. You don't have to worry about this. It's okay. She's smart in the fact that she uses the internet and her fan base to kind of get her way on certain things.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like when this was a thing that actually kind of ticked me off. That show Ginny in Georgia that's on Netflix. They made
My wife is watching that shit.
It's actually pretty good. My wife watched the whole thing. They made a joke about her. They literally just said like, you date more guys than Taylor Swift, and she freaked out on the internet and like called the show out and all this. I'm like, relax, it's a joke. Like,
it was sexist or something.
It's a joke. Relax.
You're the one who literally writes about these fucking guys every single song you've ever had.
But at the end of the day, like, I was just like, you signed the contract. Like, you knew what you were getting into at the end of the day. But at the same time, I'm all about power to the artist. So if you can make it happen and you can re-record your own shit, you have the monetary situation to be able to do that, dude, go for it. I hope that every big artist does this. I hope that everyone, because look, I got no bones in saying it. I think this industry has been set up completely wrong. I think it's been fucking people for decades, and I don't understand why it won't change. Mainly because of fear and money. That's why nothing ever changes in anything.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, the fear is flipping to the other side thanks to the internet and thanks to like artists actually taking their shit back. Go ahead, Taylor. You're gaining a fan over here. Generally, I would say this may be the first time that I was ever like, good for you, Taylor Swift. You deserve this. So shout out to Taylor Swift for fucking with the music industry.